audio. Is that better? Is that better? Okay, that's better. I think I had myself unmuted before and then remuted myself. There we go. Thank you, guys. Yes, welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan, and yeah, welcome to Gameweek 19 strategy stream. Yes, I think that's right. I'm thinking you can hear me. I've got audio feedback. I think we're good now. Apologies for that, guys. I'm wearing the Fantasy Football hat. I thought we'd keep it festive for today's stream. We've got it's 5 days till Christmas. Can you believe it? I don't know if you guys celebrate Christmas in all around the world where you guys are living, but it's certainly getting excited over here. Obviously, a big part of football and Premier League culture as well, with the Boxing Day's fixtures. So yeah, all very exciting stuff. So first of all, guys, how are you? Hope you're all good. I can see a couple of members in the chat, the Heroic Doses. Mark Hazelam there as well. Don't forget to spam those blackcurrant squash emojis in the chat. We do love that. And first of all, I think, how wrong was I about Martinelli? Let's just address that straight away. How wrong was I? Oh my God, scintillating. To be fair, even in that video, I said I really hope he does well, but I just think it's too risky to go for him. But he's arguably already played his way into this Arsenal team. He's arguably already there, and he's arguably going to be a mainstay in this Arsenal team for the rest of the season. You really wouldn't, as of form right now, you really wouldn't. You wouldn't put it any other way, would you? You've got to say Martinelli is going to be a huge part of this Arsenal team. So crazy. I'm kind of thinking, damn, I really wish I went for him. I really wish I went for Martinelli over Smith Rowe, but I thought it was too risky, but it didn't pay off. And speaking of risks, guys, those of you who went for a differential captain this week, you have really, really hit it off, haven't you? You guys, if any of you guys went for a different captain, maybe went for a Cancelo or even a Sterling or someone like that, you must be absolutely buzzing right now. You must be absolutely buzzing. So congratulations, guys, to all of you who did go for differential captains. You took the risk and it paid off. Amazing. I didn't, but I still managed to get a really, really good game week score. I was really happy with a game week score of 73. Can't really complain there. A really nice rank boost as well. I'm up to 202nd in the world now, up from 365th, I think I was last week. So a significant rank boost ahead of Christmas. So go into Christmas, 202nd in the world. Very, very pleased with that. Next goal. And it's not too far away. I'm only 6 points outside the top 100. So if I can start 2022 in the top 100 players in FPL, that would be wicked. But I'm not gonna put too much pressure on that. There's gonna be up weeks. There's gonna be down weeks. I got a little bit of luck with like Tomiyasu, for example. A little bit of luck there. It has to be said. Obviously, he got injured after 60 minutes, but before Arsenal conceded their goal. So Dan says, Yogesh says, Dan, were you ever tempted for Cancelo captain? I mean, not really. In a way, yes. I thought I kind of was. I mean, if there was going to be a time for a differential captain, and a time to not go for Salah, game week 18 wasn't a bad example of that, and a lot of people did do something different. But I think it's so scary going for a differential captain. When you're up here, I'd rather have my differentials as players in my team rather than captains. Because it can go so dreadfully wrong. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is that next week is definitely a Salah captain week, isn't it? Really, Leeds game. So let's get up my team. Let's get up my team for next week, and I'll show you kind of where we're at right now. And then there's a few other things to talk about, like potential blanks and double game weeks could be on their way as well, guys. Pretty exciting stuff. But yes, this is how I'm lining up as things stand. This is my bust team for game week 19. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Again, we're going to go with as few strikers as possible. I mean, last game week had a really good score by playing 0 strikers. So, I mean, if that doesn't just tell you everything that you need to know about FPL right now, that's exactly what it is. Like strikers are just not doing it, not doing the business. So, we're going to go. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for Antonio. I'm not too keen on Broja playing away, although I'm kind of half tempted to play Broja, but him away at West Ham, it's going to be kind of tough for Southampton there, I think, and Wolves away is just a tough fixture. it's just a really, really difficult fixture, even for a player as good as Dennis. But yeah, but you guys will well know that we may end up with a situation where we're forced to play our benches once again. Having a strong bench right now is super, super, super important. What do we know about Tomiyasu's injury? I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. It didn't look that bad, to be honest. It didn't look super, super bad. Obviously, it forced him off the pitch, but obviously there's over a week. Yeah, there's over a week between Arsenal's their game against Leeds and their coming up game against Norwich on Boxing Day. There's over a week between the two fixtures, so plenty of time to get back fit and healthy. I don't think Tomiyasu will. I don't think he'll be kept out of the team longer than he has to be because Cedric did look a little bit shaky, and I think Tomiyasu is very, very much by far the first choice. He's not a rotation player in the Arsenal team, so he's going to be if he's available, he will play, which is part of the reason why I got him in the first place. So yeah, is the audio okay? Hopefully the audio is okay, but. Looking through these fixtures, we do need to be aware that some of these might be cancelled, and I know a lot of you guys said. Dan Chris says, am I back? I typed a few messages and they weren't appearing. Yeah, you might have potentially been hidden. So I don't know, Dan Cross. Hopefully we've sorted that out. But let's have a look at these fixtures because there are a couple that could potentially be cancelled for COVID reasons. I think the Aston Villa versus Chelsea one has to be high up on the contenders to be the fixture most likely to cancel. It's when I scroll, is it? Oh, right, okay. Aston Villa versus Chelsea, that seems to be the one that is most likely to be cancelled. So be careful of that one, guys. Hopefully you're not tripled up on Chelsea. I know a lot of you guys are doubled up, but hopefully not tripled up because I would be a little bit worried about that. And Aston Villa as well. If you're in a situation where you kind of doubled up on Chelsea, doubled up on Aston Villa as well, that is slightly concerning because that game I think could potentially be cancelled. So yeah, just something to be aware of. The other ones that are a little bit scary. Norwich versus Arsenal, I think, is a little bit scary, but not massively scary. I don't think it's massively scary, so don't worry about that too much, but again, just be aware. Just be aware. Dan Cross, I'm going to make you moderator again. Hopefully it doesn't all go wrong again, but you're moderator again. Yeah, so Aston Villa versus Chelsea, most scary games because Aston Villa had their outbreak was the most recent, you would say, and Chelsea, although Chelsea are very keen to continue, they do seem a little bit like Chelsea seem to be getting more and more cases, don't they? Which is unfortunate for them, really. But they do seem very keen to keep going. The audio is like when someone is tapping on the mic to test it. Right, let's move my microphone. I am getting I've got a mic arm coming, which should fix this. But obviously, right now, the microphone is on the table, on the desk next to the computer. So potentially, when I'm tapping away or scrolling and stuff, it is disrupting that a little bit. Or I don't know if the wire is a little bit caught up here as well. Right, let's move that stuff over there. Can you guys? As long as you guys can hear me, okay, then that's all good. But yes. Aston Villa versus Chelsea, because Aston Villa are the most recent outbreak and Chelsea seem to get more and more, fixtures being cancelled, that is something to definitely consider. So be aware of that. Other fixtures, yeah, Norwich versus Arsenal. What other fixtures are potentially could go off? I mean, Leicester still have some problems, don't they? Leicester do have some problems. And Leeds, you feel like Leeds, although they're fine right now, Leeds, you feel like because the amount of injuries that Leeds have at the club at the moment, it's only going to take a couple of COVID cases at the club, and they're literally just not going to have enough players to field, are they? You saw they were already struggling for players a little bit last game week, so I don't know. But guys, I will try and figure out what's going on with the microphone after this stream. Yeah, not sure what's going on. I've not done anything differently from before. You can put it on a pillow to soften the thumbs. That's not bad. I mean, I'm getting a mic arm. It should be literally arriving this week, so it'll be before the next deadline stream. So yeah, it shouldn't it shouldn't it shouldn't be too long before it's all sorted anyway. Hopefully that does figure it out. But yeah, whatever. Keep talking about FPL. Don't get distracted by microphone talk. But I've put it at least a little bit further away from my face now as well. You won't get your game cancelled if you have 13 fit players plus a goalkeeper. Yeah. I don't know if that's is that official rules that the Premier League have come out with now. I don't know if if it is. I don't know. Have the Premier League said an official line on where the rules were? Because I remember certainly when I was looking at the end of last week, it was a case where the Premier League didn't have a blanket rule as to why you should be, or when is the right time to cancel the game. It was just kind of taken on a case-by-case basis. So, yeah, I don't know. If anyone can verify that is the case, you need 13 fit players plus a goalkeeper. Is that first team players as well? Are we counting under 23s in that? You know what I mean? What is the exact rule? I'd be quite interested to know. But certainly Leeds are, either way, must be very much on the edge, and it's only going to take a couple of cases. So, again, guys, we really are looking at making our transfer moves as late as physically possible. We don't want to be, we really do not want to be rushing our transfers. And I know we said this last week, and I know for some people it's difficult if you live in different time zones, for example. Maybe the deadline is at a really dodgy time. Last week, how long was it before the first game was meant to kick off that the Aston Villa game was cancelled? It was something like 40 minutes. Dan Cross says, yeah, I read it on BBC Sport today. Well, there you go, it's official. Yeah, so 40 minutes before deadline, it was something like that, right? 40 minutes before deadline, the Aston Villa game versus Burnley was postponed, and people had transferred in Watkins by then. And even after that, when I was trying to make my transfers, I wanted to bring in Smith Rowe and Tomiyasu. I feel like I had to wait till literally, I think at the end, I pushed the make transfers button 2 minutes before deadline. Just 2 minutes before deadline, because it's just not worth the risk. And I know that's so difficult to say. It's easy for me to say as someone who lives in the UK and lives in this time zone. It's very easy for me to say, wait 20 minutes before deadline. But honestly, if you particularly if you're really, really super serious about Fantasy Premier League, you're super serious, you really, really desperately want to do well. I mean, arguably, you just kind of have to make a sacrifice and get up at a weird time at night, or get up really early in the morning, or stay up a bit later. I know it's not ideal, but as with any game or any sport or anything like that, I suppose you do have to make sacrifices if you do want to be super, super, super duper competitive. Unfortunately, which sucks. It's not. I agree. It's not fair. It's so easy for me to say this. It's not fair, but it's kind of where we're at right now, where you just do need to do your absolute best to make sure you are doing those transfers as late as possible. Seriously, as late as possible. So just one to bear in mind. I know sometimes you want to get in that play a little bit earlier. It's just not worth it. It's just genuinely not worth it. So, guys, remember to make those transfers as late as possible. So, a couple of games off. I have heard murmurings, rumours, if you will, that potentially we could also have a double game week coming up very, very soon. Not massively soon. We're looking in January, but I think it's game week 22 could potentially be a double game week. So, yeah, that is really interesting. Really, really interesting because it's also during AFCON, which doesn't help. Because so I know a lot of people are talking about a double game week here. Basically, the idea is that the FA Cup replays have been cancelled. So there's in the FA Cup now, there's not going to be any replays in the FA Cup whatsoever. So I mean, I think that's a good thing, to be fair. FA Cup replays have been a little bit of a bane on the Premier League on the Premier League for a while. To be honest, I know a lot of people really like the FA Cup, but at the end of the day, the Premier League is the big competition in England right now, and the FA Cup replays can be pretty disruptive, particularly when games are already cancelled. A sacrifice has to be made somewhere, and FA Cup replays are going to be the sacrifice there. And I think a lot of the motivation why they might have cancelled these FA Cup replays is to free up potential midweek slots, to allow us to catch up on some Premier League games. Now, I've seen the rumours, and apparently, you know, we're talking about all of these or every team in the Premier League having a double game week. I'm not exactly sure how that works out. I've not actually had a really good look at this yet. Susil in the chat says Ben Krelling confirmed the double game week 22 for 14 teams. Okay, I've not actually seen this, so perhaps we have a look at this and give obviously a good shout out to Ben Krelling here. If he's done the legwork already, because I haven't even bothered trying to work it out yet. I mean, when we get closer to the double game weeks, I do make sure I do lots of research and try and work out where fixtures can fit in where, and try and make some predictions. I made a video I'm actually really proud of last season, where we had a full-on look at how the double game weeks could potentially work and what the different possible scenarios were. But there we go. I'm assuming this is it. This is what you guys are talking about in the chat. Is this it? I've not seen this yet, but I'm assuming, yeah, potential double game weeks, 22 fixtures. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Let me just check you guys can see that okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, okay. Interesting. The big thing here is that it's during the AFCON. I don't know if anyone's mentioned this yet on Twitter or anything, but this is during AFCON, and it's early on in AFCON as well. I think this is the first game week of AFCON. So if AFCON still goes ahead, you know, we can say, Watford look like they've got an incredible double game week there, for example. They look like what a double game that is for Watford, but we're talking about potentially no Emmanuel Dennis in that game, which kind of is like, damn it, you know, that is prime for a lovely Dennis. So I wonder if this is the right game week for a free hit, because when we look at this, we've got no Salah in this game week, and Liverpool are also on a single game week. So that makes us think, okay, we don't actually want to get we'll have Salah. We'll all have Salah in our teams. This could be a good chance to free hit Salah out of our teams for one game week only. And someone in the chat says it's not confirmed, it's predicted. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, that's completely fair enough. This is definitely not confirmed yet, is it? It's not confirmed until the Premier League says something, right? But this is what we're looking at as a real potential. When we look through this, yeah, the best ones here really are Watford, who will be without Dennis. We've got who else looks kind of good there? Manchester United, not even that great. Leicester, not bad. Crystal Palace, not bad. It's not amazing, you know. That's not an amazing double game week. So is that a game week we want to be throwing our chips at? Ash Brain in the chat has corrected and identified there'd be no Sarr in that Watford team as well. Do we want to be ripping up our teams and using chips and stuff like that for this double game week? I'm not sure. I don't know. It's definitely something to think about. It's just it's annoying because what you really want is a Liverpool and a Man City with double game weeks, don't you? Or just some better fixtures. Watford are the only team there where you look at that and say amazing, and there's no Dennis. Crazy. S-Bam says Watford have got 5 players to go to AFCON. If I was Ranieri, I would not want the double game week then. That makes sense. But yeah, all the good teams, you know, look at Chelsea's double there. City and Arsenal. Look at Arsenal's double there, Tottenham and Chelsea. Look at, Manchester United. I mean, that's okay, but it's not like good fixtures, right? That's not good fixtures. Aston Villa away, not ideal. Brighton are a good team as well. Tottenham, if we want to do we call Tottenham a good team? I don't know. But they've got Arsenal and Leicester. That's kind of tough. I mean, Leicester are kind of pretty weak defensively, so at least you could kind of get at them, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be an interesting double game week, to say the least. And we will probably want some Watford players for that. Maybe Josh King is probably primed for that, right? Josh King is probably primed. Jamie Vardy is a contender. Yeah, I mean, Leicester and Watford are the two teams you'd say have the best fixtures there. Possibly Crystal Palace as well. But who do you go for Crystal Palace? You know, Benteke and Edouard kind of rotating. Do we want to go for a troll like Zaha? Zaha's not even... Actually, Zaha will be at AFCON, so we can't even have Zaha. A few people still in the chat saying Dennis could be massive. Dennis is very likely to be at AFCON. He won't even be available for these fixtures most likely. So yeah, Josh King will be the one really from that Watford game that will from those Watford games, should I say, that we'd be more interested in. But anyway, yeah, that's something we want to be keeping an eye on. I know it's like a month away, isn't it? When is game week 22? Friday the 14th of January that kicks off. So yeah, we've still got a while until that is upon us. So yeah, don't worry about that too much for now. But definitely something to keep an eye on. But again, it's kind of like, even if it was confirmed, how are we going to approach this? And this is what we need to be thinking about. Because it's not all that. In terms of double game weeks, you can do a lot better than this, can't you? You still probably want to have, you know, double or triple Arsenal, or, you know, a Leicester player in there, a Watford player in there. You know, even though Chelsea have horrible games, you're probably still going to want to have, you know, your couple of Chelsea players in there anyway. Some of the easier games of the game week, you know, we're looking at, like, you know, West Ham against Leeds there. We're probably going to want some West Ham players, even though it's single. Liverpool versus Brentford. I know they haven't got Salah or Mane, but we're probably still going to want to have Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jota in there. Even though they've got a single game week, they've got a nice single game week. Everton versus Norwich. That could be a time where we're starting to talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So, you know, Aston Villa, Manchester United, and Burnley, two home fixtures. Burnley's a decent fixture. Manchester United is a debatable fixture. Are we attacking that one either? I don't know. Is it a free hit territory? I don't think it's a bench boost territory. I don't think it's a bench boost week, which is a shame, because when I was kind of hearing rumours of potential double game weeks in 22 earlier, I didn't have a clue what the fixtures were. I hadn't done any research whatsoever into it, other than there might be a double game week there. I was thinking, oh, could that be if everyone's getting, or if most teams are getting a double game week, could this be a good opportunity to have a bench boost? But I don't think this is a bench boost week, if I'm honest. Someone said I've not mentioned United. I kind of mentioned United, Aston Villa and Brighton. I don't think that's amazing fixtures. You know, Aston Villa are looking really good since Gerrard's taken over, and Brighton have never really been a good team to target, really, as an individual fixture. You've not meant Southampton. Broja looks good. Broja always looks good, but Wolves away, that's a really tough fixture, particularly at the moment. Wolves defensively have been flying, haven't they? They've been really good. Brentford's a decent fixture, I suppose. So yeah, we probably want Broja in there. There are a lot of players we'd like to have, to be honest. But I kind of, when you look at through, I guess we'll look at my team, because I guess my team's pretty template. You know, we've got Ramsdale with a double game week. That'd be nice. No, City won't have a double game week, which isn't ideal. Dennis won't be there. The triple Arsenal would be nice. The double Chelsea would be nice. Other than that, Broja is the only other player who actually has a double game week out of my personal players anyway. So we'd potentially be looking to get... would we be looking to get Antonio out? Maybe bring in a Ronaldo? Is Ronaldo even going to be playing 2 games within the space of a week? Maybe. Don't know, would we be taking out someone like Sterling? I think potentially be taking out someone like Sterling, but I mean, to be honest, Southampton, Brentford, Norwich after that. Do we really want to be losing our City players? Not sure. Though I am looking forward to City players in game week 19 and 20. Another thing we should definitely be noting as well is the fact that there are also rumours that game week 20 could potentially be just ripped out the schedule. Sterling's not template. Yeah, I know Sterling's not template, but I was just kind of using him as an example of a Man City player, because I know a lot of you guys do have Man City midfielders in your team. But yeah, this is a game week that is potentially being scrapped, and I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think this game week is actually going to be stricken off. But I know people have been saying, well, I mean, if you're going to cancel a game week because of COVID and trying to get things back to normal, cancel game week 19 instead. But that's not going to happen. This is the Boxing Day fixtures. Boxing Day, 26th of December, football has been a big part of English football tradition for so long. And whether you like traditions or not, I'm not that bothered about Boxing Day football personally, but it is really important to a lot of people in this country. So it's not going to be the bad PR, the bad press you would get from cancelling this for cancelling these lot of fixtures. It's just not going to happen. These fixtures will go ahead in all likeliness. These ones, on the other hand, I think are a little bit more sacrificable, mostly because they're very close in proximity to Game Week 19, so it's really, really tight. This is where the Premier League fixture schedule gets the tightest it ever is. So we're talking games on the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, there's nothing, but then again, straight away again on 1st of January, 2nd of January, 3rd of January. So it's really tight here. The round of games in between would be the most likely to be sacrificed. So a few people saying that it's been confirmed that they're not cancelling it. I know I did see that Premier League clubs do not want to cancel this game week. I know they said that they did not want to do it. I didn't know it had been confirmed that they're definitely not going to cancel it. But if it's now confirmed, then it's confirmed. I know the Premier League did not want to do it, which is why I was kind of saying I don't think they actually will do it. But I didn't know if it was still on the table. The only other thing is there going to be government intervention? Who? This is the kind of thing right now, isn't it? Really, whose responsibility is this? How do we? Is it the Premier League responsibility? Is it the government's responsibility? Should games be cancelled based on public safety? Is it about player safety? Is it about money? There's so many factors, and I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue where anything is going to go, to be honest, which is why, again, we do need to be leaving our transfers to as late as physically possible if we can. So, yeah, definitely be aware of that. But if that's confirmed that that's going ahead, then it's confirmed it's going ahead. Again, we're going to have a continuation of the theme of individual basis. Games will be cancelled. Wait till the last minute to make your transfers. We don't know who's at stake. I kind of said early on in the stream, Aston Villa versus Chelsea is the scariest one to me, which is kind of fortunate to me in a way because I only have 2 Chelsea players and I do have a bench to back it up. Again, we do need to be talking about the fact that benches are so important right now, right? We do need to have that strong bench. Someone asked for Arsenal player recommendations. Again, definitely don't make this move right now because there is a chance that Norwich versus Arsenal, I think that is one of the more risky games because of the Norwich COVID situation. I don't think it's super risky, but still, it's not even worth going for your transfers early at this point. Anyone who is making transfers right now is putting themselves at such a big risk. I don't know why people are doing it, but people are. Arsenal players, really, if Tomiyasu's fit, I really like him. Kieran Tierney is really good, although I suspect particularly around the 19, 20, 21, really tight schedule there for Arsenal. Although saying that, where are we? Here. So playing on Sunday and then on Tuesday and then again on Saturday for Arsenal. I know it could be a lot worse, but you would kind of think there is potential for this Tuesday game here. There's potential for Tierney to be rested in a game like that. His minutes managed a little bit. We know he's had recurring fitness problems, so something to be aware of. But most of all, Martinelli. I mean, if you've got an opportunity to go for Martinelli right now, why not, eh? Why wouldn't you? Really, really tasty indeed. So yeah, that's what I'd say in terms of Arsenal players. I'm kind of interested to be honest. How many people are being transferred in already? A lot. Wow. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy. Like I do understand the excitement around Martinelli. I really do. Do not get me wrong. I understand the excitement around Cancelo, who's just scored a, was it 18-pointer? Yeah. He's just scored an 18-pointer. I understand the excitement. Dennis is wild. You know, Dennis is going to be jetting off to AFCON from this game week onwards. So this Newcastle away game, Dennis is not going to be available for. So really, if you're bringing in Dennis at this exact moment, you're bringing him in for Wolves away, tough. West Ham at home, tough. Spurs at home, pretty tough as well. And then assuming he does get called up to the Nigeria squad, which he probably will, and assuming that AFCON goes ahead, which it probably will, Newcastle away, Norwich at home, the games you're probably most excited about owning Dennis for, he's not going to be there for anyway. He's not going to be there anyway. So, yeah, something crazy going on there. But, yeah, I mean, if we're completely honest, the people making transfers right now, the people already making the transfers, are probably not... probably most of the people making transfers now will not be particularly competitive players. They'll be people who are not taking FPL too seriously, just playing it for fun kind of thing. Whereas you guys who watch videos, you watch FPL videos. I mean, I talk a lot about I call people casual FPL players, which some people say. Well, I've heard some people say that's a. Very few people said that's kind of, is that a little bit of a derogatory term? I don't think it is. I mean, I play, FIFA casually. I'm a casual FIFA player. I play, a little bit of Call of Duty. I'd call myself a casual Call of Duty player. Some people you play some games casually, and I'm a casual sports fan. I do watch a little bit of sports, but I don't, other than football, I'm not like a massive sports fan. I don't think it's derogatory at all. But you guys watching these videos, if you're engaging in FPL enough that you're watching FPL content, you're definitely not casual players. The casual players are, your mate or your colleague who checks their team like once every 2 or 3 weeks, doesn't really engage in FPL too much, and they make up the vast majority of players in FPL. They make up millions and millions and millions of fantasy players are those people, and those are the people who are typically making these early transfers. So yeah, I don't know. Don't get drawn into it, especially not now. I say about this every single stream, every single video. Stop making early transfers, right? Stop making early transfers. But people still do it, and I can't say that enough. Ash Brain says you're a casual player as well, apart from this season. No, I don't think that's true. I've not been a casual player, FPL player for a few years now. You don't need to be a top. Being a casual player is not about rank and how good you are. It's about how much you engage, how much you're interested in fantasy football. If you're engaging with content, you're on Twitter, and you're talking about fantasy football with your mates like a lot, then you're not a casual player. You're an engaged player. I have been a casual player. There was for many years I would make my team. I would play for the first few game weeks, get bored, and then never touch didn't touch my team between game week 6 and game week 38. I wouldn't even touch my team once. That's a casual player, and there's nothing wrong with being like that, because if you don't love something, I mean, I'm obsessed with fantasy. You guys are obsessed with fantasy as well, but other people have different interests. Other people probably have less nerdy interests than us, to be honest. We're the nerds, really, aren't we? I don't have a problem with it, but someone says show your team. I can show you my team for this coming game week if that's what you're after. I don't know what transfer I'd make, to be honest. I think now is in terms of transfers, and usually I do try and kind of speculate on what kind of transfers I'd like to make, but I do think now is a time to be fairly reactive with our transfers. Ariane Singh says, let's be honest, we are tryhards. We are. Guys, we are all tryhards here. There's nothing wrong with that, but we are the nerds. We are the nerds. We are the fantasy nerds. And that's fine. But yeah, in terms of transfers, I don't know what I really want to be doing here, because I think it's just a time to be reactive and wait and see if games are cancelled, see if we get any announcements of blank game weeks and double game weeks and things like that, and try and be as reactive as possible. Have an idea of the direction you're looking to go, but without getting too fixated on one idea, and try and be flexible and reactive and react to new information as best as you can. For example, I've got an idea that if there's a potential double game week 22, I've got an idea that I potentially want a player like Josh King for that game week. I potentially want a Leicester player back in my team for that game week. So I can have these ideas of the kind of rough ideas I'd like to do. And I think it's a good idea to have rough ideas of what you'd like to do. But yeah, it's not the time to be saying, I actually must have this player. You guys in the chat, I'm loving hearing all this. I am obsessed with FPL. I'm definitely an addict. It's absolutely fine. Dan Cross in the chat says, definitely nerdy. I realised when I was telling people I was going to a fantasy convention. So yeah, me and Dan Cross in the summer, we did go to a fantasy football convention. We'll be going again in January. I've actually got some spare tickets to Fantasy Football Fests that are unclaimed. So I was thinking about giving these away to you guys actually. So I don't know if any of you guys are interested. This isn't a promotion or anything. I just have spare tickets, and I thought, well, I could either refund them, I suppose, or just give them to maybe a couple of you guys who are, if you guys are interested in going to the event. I don't mind giving them a couple of them away. Well, I mean, all of the ones that I have that I'm not going to be using. I need, how many of them do I need? 3 I need, and I've got a couple of spare. So if you guys want. If you guys want them, it's basically just in London on the Friday the 21st of January. Can't remember what time it starts. I don't know. I think it starts at like 4 or something, 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something like that. There's all some big fantasy Premier League names. I don't want to say, is there such thing as a fantasy Premier League celebrity? Don't know. But yeah, they do like, typically they do like a quiz, and they'll have like hosts, and I think they're doing some bit of comedy, a bit of music, all kinds, and all fantasy football related stuff. Little games. I think they're doing a little penalty challenge thing, competitions, whatever. Tickets are, they're not too expensive. 20 quid, you get a free drink as well, I think. But I have got some spare, so let's actually see what time it starts. And guys, just I think just if you want them, I don't know, should I do a competition or something? Don't know if I should do a competition or to just. Thing is, I want to give them away to someone who's actually going to go. That's the only problem. So that's the thing with a competition. When you do a competition and you end up giving them to someone random who's in a completely different country who can't even possibly attend, I'd rather give them to someone who really actually could quite like to go, but it's just not can't be asked to spend 20 quid basically. But there you go. Don't know what. There you go. 4 p.m. till midnight, Friday the 21st January. So it's in a month's time. Competition, drink, whatever. Kelly Summers as the host. Obviously, she does a lot of stuff with the Premier League. So yeah, don't know. What should I do, guys? Competition or just give them a? 100%. You're a celebrity. Well, I'm not though. I've never been recognised in public. I never would be. There are obviously. I think that the FPL is such a small bubble, really. I know we're all in that bubble, but we're really in such a bubble that we can say, for example, Mark Southerns is the most famous person in fantasy football, and I probably could agree with you. But Mark Southerns, if he walks down the street, he's not going to have people going up to him for autographs, because most people, if we're honest, don't care about fantasy football. We're a smallish community, really, and a global community as well. So yeah, don't know. Oh yeah, Dan has correctly identified. You do have to be 18 plus to go. But yeah, I'll give them away on Twitter or something. So yeah, I'll maybe mention that later on this evening. So guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter at FPL Mate, if you're not done already, and I will give them away. I don't know. I'll probably give them away as a pair, so you can come and bring a friend or something. There we go. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter and I'll give them away later. Right. Anyway, back to fantasy, and I won't stream for too much longer because, again, the problem is with content this early in the week is that we are speculating so much. We are really speculating so much. We don't know what's going to happen between now and, well, it's Sunday, isn't it? It's between now and Sunday. It's usually we've got a deadline on a Friday or a Saturday morning, but we're all the way on Sunday, so we're really in a situation where this is quite a long time between deadlines. You know, from Saturday to Sunday, that's 8 days between deadlines. So we are maybe a bit preemptive here. Obviously, I won't be making content on Christmas Day. I'll be making content every other day this week, but not Christmas Day. But yeah, I feel like we are speculating a little bit. But overall, I think the keynotes to take away, if we're talking about early thoughts, which we are, and if we're talking about reflecting on last game week, I think the big reflections are: don't make early transfers. Martinelli is a beast. Be aware of that Aston Villa versus Chelsea game. I do think that is the most at-risk game. But there we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's the big takeaways from this video. Ishan says, has your opinion on bigger the back changed now? I don't know, because it flips and flops. I don't know if there's one right answer. I think big squad is definitely the answer. Definitely, you want to have a big squad. You know, money on the bench. I know, Tomiyasu, Broja, Dennis. They're not exactly the three most expensive players in FPL, but they're expensive enough where they will be able to contribute and chip in with points if you do depend on them. So I think more we're just talking about 4 million, 4.5 million players on the bench are probably not the play. Maybe a 4.5 million defender might do you a good job, but a Broja 5.1 million is just a perfect bench option right now. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. Again, don't want to. Week 19 is double week. Someone said in the chat. That can't be true, because that's just impossible. How can that be a double? How can game week 19 be a double game week? It's not. No. We've just got some fixtures a couple of days later. They're two separate rounds of fixtures. That round is game week 19, and that game week is game week 20. I know a lot of people, are kind of confused about what it counts as a double game week. A double game week is where they put all of the fixtures in the space of one game week, and a game week really is a made-up term. It's a made-up term that is used within FPL, and a double game week means that basically what we'd see is we'd be on the game week 19 page, and this list would just keep going down and down and down. There'd be more and more fixtures, and some teams would play twice, which is what makes it double game week. Even though the game week 20 is played, just a couple of days after game week 19, it's not a double game week because it's counted as an entirely separate entire round of fixtures, which is why it's not a double game week, because they are completely separate in terms of the scoring, everything like that. So there we go. We will. Should we wrap it up now? I think we can. We may as well wrap it up now. I don't think there's too much to talk about. Obviously, I will try and. Well, we'll keep speculating throughout the week. Buy, sell, keep, avoid is going to be. Someone else says week 19 is a double game week. It's not. It's not. It's not a double game week. I mean, why would they make it a double game week? It wouldn't even make sense. It's never been a double game week. I will check one more time on my phone since someone has asked me to check, but I am pretty certain that it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, craziness. When is the next double game week? Possibly game week 22. That's all we know. Any price rises? Okay, very quickly. Price rises. Who cares? To be honest, who cares? Don't engage with this. In fact, it's dangerous for me to even put this on screen. Guys, let's just squeeze. Everything you see on screen here, ignore. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if players are rising in price. It is not worth it. For you asking about my cup performances, we are still in the overall cup, actually doing pretty well. Dimitar, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. yeah, so far we've actually been really quite fortunate. Had some really kind of weak opponents. I think all three of the teams I've played so far. For example, this one, I don't think this is an active player. I don't think this. I'm assuming this guy has not changed his team, or guy or girl has not changed their team in quite some time. So yeah, got away with that one. My upcoming. Oh, what am I doing here? My upcoming opponent. Why is it showing their entry history? My upcoming opponent seems to be an active manager at least. They are making transfers. Their rank isn't great, but they are at least playing, I guess. But can I have a look at their team? Can I have a look at their Gameweek 18 team? Yeah, okay. So this is the team of my next cup opponent. They have no Cancelo and Trent, which is dangerous for them. But they are playing. You know, they've got the triple Chelsea there. You know, Chelsea, assuming that game goes ahead, if they keep a clean sheet, I could be very much muddied. If that game is postponed, however, then you know I'd probably win this cup game as well. But this is definitely it's not the worst team in the world, especially you know Bowen and Antonio on the bench. So Cobb City, you're coming up next. I'm gonna get you. I'm coming for you, Cobb City. We're gonna go through to the next round. Bring it on, Cobb. Someone says, "Yo, that's me." I very much doubt it. But yes, guys. Jacob says, "So what you're telling me is to buy Laka before he rides it." I know you're joking, but please do not make early transfers. Please don't. Yeah, James C in the chat has correctly said, not even checking prices until Sunday. It's not worth it. Even if you are priced out of a player because you've waited this week, good. It doesn't matter. You have to just assume players are not changing in price, and whatever price they are come Sunday, that is the price they are. If you can't afford them on Sunday, it doesn't matter if you can afford them on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you can't afford them on Sunday, you just got to rule them out. I really think we've just got to take a hardline approach to this. You know, we saw what happened to people with Ollie Watkins last game week. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Don't make those transfers. But anyway, I said I was going to leave. I stopped streaming about 5 minutes ago, and I haven't. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We'll do buy, sell, keep, avoid tomorrow. 100 experts. We're actually going to do 100 experts this week. We haven't done that in a while because the schedule's been too tight. But we'll do 100 experts. And we will do team selection on Thursday. Not sure what I'm going to do on Friday. Possibly a stream. A pre-Christmas stream if you like. And then deadline stream on Sunday. There we go. That's the schedule for the week, guys. So yeah, hope to see you guys on all of those videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all smashed it this week. Yeah, onwards and upwards for all of us in terms of FPL. No early transfers, please. All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.